welcome back. I'm Martina, an ADHD expert and coach and physician assistant of over 15 years, bringing you some actionable techniques and tools for anxiety and stress management today. So in the first video of these two-part series on anxiety and ADHD, we talked about the difference between stress and anxiety, which for a quick recap was stress is brought on from an external trigger or event that heightens our anxiety, our stress, our overwhelm, our uncomfort level. But after that scenario or situation resolves, then the stress usually goes back to baseline. It can de-escalate. Versus anxiety is this heightened sense of anxiety, stress, worry, irritability. It can be caused by a trigger or it can be brought on without a trigger. The feelings of worry, stress is higher than it should be for the situation, and it lingers longer. So if it was situation provoked after the situation, the stress anxiety doesn't go back to baseline, it stays heightened and elevated. So chronic stress, so situations that bring on the stress, chronic stress provokers often bring on and lead to anxiety. Up to 50% of ADHDers have anxiety, so this is a big topic we need to hit and we need to address. A lot of us have stress anxiety in our life. I know I do too. So we need to be honest with ourselves. Is this something I struggle with? And what can I do today to incorporate it? We talked about 5 actionable steps last time. We're going to talk about 5 more today so that you can have a good, robust 10 actionable step toolbox for today to incorporate these things into your life and to share them with others that might also have needs for these things. So the first technique for today is creating a personalized anxiety or stress toolbox. So what does that mean? So we talk a lot about prepping on the front end so that you're ready when the situation presents and you don't have to go figuring out at that moment what to do. So prep on the front end what you think would be helpful when high stress or anxiety hits. So you know you best, so you got to figure out what that means to you. It could be a fiddle toy, a de-stress toy, an ADHD toy. It could be a playlist, music playlist that you already have together. It could be some, healthy comfort snacks or some easy activities, or go to this toolbox or toolkit that actually has physical things or has digital things that are ready to go for you that you can easily pull out. Because when you're high stress, high anxiety, right, it's hard to think outside of what's causing the stress or what I'm feeling at that moment. So if I already say, hey, I prepped this toolkit, this toolbox for myself for moments like this, let me pull it out, let me be intentional, let me force myself to do something I prepped when I was in a better headspace to help kind of de-escalate, distract, move on. That can be helpful. Strategy number 2 for today, I like this one, is implement a structured and protected worry time. So a lot of times we're like, can't think about that, no, I don't want to think about my stressors. If I do, it's just going to spiral. Well, sometimes if we always just push those things away and never actually give ourselves time to process and think about them, then it's actually just kind of kicking the can down the road, and it's kind of this thought or this thing in our head that we never really allowed ourselves to dive into, and we need to dive into it more to process and move forward with it sometimes. So what a protected stress time looks like is 5 to 10 minutes once a day or 5 minutes twice a day of saying, hey, this is time that I can freak out, get stressed, as worked up as I want about this situation. So the rest of the day you have to work on practicing saying, okay, I'm starting to spiral on these thoughts. I'm starting to get high anxiety, stress on these things, but I know that at the end of the day, or at 7 p.m. or at 5 p.m., I have a 5 or a 10 minute protected with an alarm so I don't go over for half an hour. Protected time where I can freak out, stress out, get worked up, let my thoughts spiral. So then you're allowing yourself that time, and you're putting it in your calendar with an alarm so it doesn't exceed that time. But then you're allowing your brain, and you're freeing up your brain to be functional, productive, enjoying the moment. The other things, the good things during the day, so that your constant stress and worry isn't just kind of lingering, and it's a kind of underlying thought throughout the day. A lot of people find that helpful. You can do it twice a day or just once a day. I would not recommend allowing more than 10 minutes to kind of let your mind race or get overwhelmed. And if you feel like then it's hard to transition out of that, make sure you've prepped ahead of time something to do at the end of that time when that timer goes off to distract you, to regroup, redirect you so that you don't just stay kind of in that spiral longer than intended. The third de-stressing technique for today is have an if-then set up and planned and written out for you. So everyone, that's going to look differently, but saying, if this happens, then what am I going to do? So the if then. So you can easily write ahead of time or prep ahead of time what you're going to do for common things. If my work meeting goes late, then I'm going to do this. If this person doesn't show up on time or this conversation is stressful, then I'm going to do this. So planning ahead of time of what you're going to do if you feel escalation of stress, anxiety, having it planned out ahead of time. I know this work meeting is going to be stressful, so I'm going to give myself a 30-minute buffer afterwards to listen to some relaxing music while I go for a walk around the block a few times. So if then, planning out ahead of time, setting yourself up for success, so that, if this happens, you already have the then planned out. Number 4 is audit sensory impulses. So things like lighting, sound, textures. Be aware of your surroundings. What are you surrounding yourself with? Is your lighting conducive to being focused, to de-stressing? Are the sounds or the noise level around you within your control helping calm you down, keep you in a calm place, or is it exacerbating or bringing on stress or building up that stress throughout the day? Where are you putting yourself for work situations? Are you putting yourself in a work situation where there's a TV in the background, music, a busy coffee shop? Are you in an office with lots of people? Are you in the quiet of your home where it's protected space? So try to set up light, sound, and texture to your benefit where you can, and evaluate, make sure that's in a really good place so that it can keep that baseline anxiety better, or when you escalate, it can come down faster because you have all these other sensory things already in place that are good for you and help you thrive. Number 5 out of 5 tools that you can implement now for your stress level is to build a minimal viable day, meaning what's the minimum you need to consider it a good or successful day, right? We're not always going to be on point and 100% every day. That's unrealistic for anyone, especially ADHDers, but create ahead of time, what's a minimal viable day? What's a minimal good day look like? So that, even though I might not be 100%, I'm not considering myself a failure. Or if I'm saying I didn't get these 6 things on my to-do list done today, at least I know that a minimal good day is this. Did I at least hit my good day mark, instead of saying day after day, oh, I didn't hit my maximum potential. I didn't hit my maximum potential. So knowing what the minimum for good is, or minimum for acceptable for you, for your day is, then it's helpful to fall back to that, to say, okay, instead of the negative self-talk, right? Like, I didn't accomplish everything, so I suck, I'm a failure, I'm a loser, why can't I get my life together, why can't I stay on top of my job, all these really harsh negative self-talk we do on ourselves. What's a minimum for a good day? And then you can kind of say, well, I at least hit the minimum, or I almost hit the minimum, or next time I don't have a 100% day, I can strive harder to at least meet that minimum for a good day. So I hope these are really helpful. I know some of these tools have been really helpful for me and my clients. At the end of the day, it's important to acknowledge, do I have stress, anxiety? What does it look like? What can I control? What can I not control? And how can I be intentional on the front end to prep and do things and know tools in my toolbox that I practiced and know and can easily pull out, like the 10 we reviewed between the last video and this one, so that you're ready to be able to de-escalate that stress and anxiety level, to bring it back to a calm place, and so that you can help manage your stress and anxiety, which in turn, the better your stress is managed, in turn, the better your focus is going to be, your productivity, your excitement, your follow-through, all of it's so intertwined. So we really need good anxiety stress management if we really want to be top of our game with our ADHD management. Thank you. Have a blessed day.